Okay, as requested, I'm going to do a couple of videos to kind of help out with the radicals chapter. So I'm going to do simplifying radicals. I'm going to do multiplying radicals. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the square root of 140. So the first thing you want to do is you want to, whoa, what the heck that happened there? You want to factor tree everything. So let's just factor in any way you can. So 2 and 70, 2 and 35, and then 5 and 7. My dog never stops barking. Alright, so once you got everything as fact as possible, remember that we are looking for groups of 2. Again, we know this because the index number, if we don't see it, is a 2. So this is the indicator of how many we need in order for it to come out of the radical sign. Okay, out of the radical sign. So take out these two 2's. Okay, remember that when you take out a group of 2, you're writing down a 2 because you're trying to show a group representative of the group of numbers. Okay, and it looks like I cannot take out anything else, so I'm just going to write the square root, and then whatever I have a 5 and a 7 left over. This whole process is multiplication, so my final answer is going to be 2 square root of 35. And that's it. That's all I could do. So there wasn't much I could do with that problem. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. We do square root of 72 m squared n to the fifth. Now remember that we are looking at an index number of... Why do I keep getting this thing? Stupid crayon or whatever it is I'm getting. Okay, this is a 2. Okay, we're going to split this off into any way to get 72. So I'm going to pick 2 and 36. 6 and 6. Now, really, you could go further with this factor tree if you wanted to. And maybe I will. But what you'll see is that the 6's are going to be the ones that come out anyway. But I'm going to put these all out. So here I go. Okay, so I've got a 2 and a 3 and a 2 and a 3 and a 2. Okay, remember that the letters raised to an exponent, remember, stand for uh, the letters that number of times. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to write this every time out. You'll get the gist after a while. Alright, so now that we got everything factored, we got the variables factored and the numbers factored, we're going to go ahead and start circling. Okay, remember we're looking for groups of 2. Okay, so here's a group of 2. Whoop. Okay, here's a group of 2. Okay, and then we've got a group of 2 here, and we got a group of 2 here, and we got a group of 2 here. Alright, so I think I got everything that I can actually circle groups of 2. So remember, every time you circle the group, you write its number. So I got a 2 from that one. I got a 3 from this group. I got an M from this group right here. I got an N from this group. I got another N from this group, and then that's it. And then I'm going to make my square root symbol, and then whatever I didn't circle, which was this 2 right here, and this N over here. Now all I have to do is clean this up. All it is multiplication. So this would be 6, okay, M. Remember this stands for N squared, okay, and then 2N. So your final answer is 6 mn squared square root of 2n. You're done. Alright, so it looks like a lot, but really you're just, I mean, if you know your square roots really well, you don't have to break down the factor tree as much, but the factor tree will never fail you as long as you get your math right. Your arithmetic is alright. Otherwise, you should be in pretty good shape. Let's do another problem. Let's see what comes up here. Alright, so I've got 2 of them to do. I decided to go up a little bit to cubes. Remember, we can repeat the same process with fourths and fifths roots, but I'm going to stop at 3 because I think you're going to get the point after a while. Alright, so I'm doing the cube root of 24m to the fourth n to the fifth. Again, I'm going to factor out. See, I've got a 3 and 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 8's 4 and 2, and 4 is 2 and 2. Then I've got 4 m's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, if you get the variable part, you don't actually have to write out. But I'm trying to make it physical so you can see everything. All right. So now what we're going to do is remember we're looking for groups of 3. So I got to circle groups of 3. So there's a group of 3. There's a group of 3. There's a group of 3. All right. Just like we did it before, we have a group of 3. We write a 2, representing that group. We're going to write down the m's because that's what we took out of the m's, and n's as in Nancy. We're taking that out, and then we're going to write cube root of, and we're going to now collect all the things that are not circled. So that would be this 3, this m, and these two n's. So 3 m n n. Alright, so my final answer is 2mn cube root of 3mn squared. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay? So hopefully you're kind of getting the gist of what to do. Okay, this next one, I want to do this one quickly because I wanted to do a problem where I say, hey, well, what happens if I end up with a number already outside? What do I do? So let's do this one. 40 breaks up into anything you want. 4 and 10. 4 breaks up into 2 and 2. 10 breaks up into 2 and 5. And then again, the m's, if you need it, you write them out. Okay, now we're going to circle our pairs. Remember, we're going back to pairs again because of the 2 that would be there. So there's a pair of 2's, pair of m's, and that's it. All right. So when you go to do this, don't forget about this 3. So you're going to take the 3 and write it first, times that group of 2. I keep doing that sometimes. Group of 2, and the m's. That's what I have that I circled. And then I'm going to put the square root, and what's left? I have a 2, I have a 5, and I have an m. 2 times 5 times m. Now it's a matter of just multiplying stuff. So this would be 6m square root of 10m. And you're done. That's all there's to it. Okay. Whew. Okay, so what do you do with multiplication? With multiplication, you have to understand that the rule really is the square root of something times the square root of something else. And this is any root, actually. So let me put n's there. It can be any roots. You have this as long as they're the same. So the sum root of a times the sum root of b is equal to the same root of a times b. Alright, so technically all these multiplication problems I could really throw under one big huge radical sign. I'm just not going to waste the lead. So you just have to understand that if there's a times symbol sitting between these two things, that they're working together. Okay, so the factor trees that you do are kind of working together to bring things out. Okay, so you can if you can imagine a big huge radical sign over the entire thing. That's really what you're doing. Alright, so 10 breaks up into 2 and 5. Can't do anything with that. 32 breaks up to, I don't know, 4 and 8, 2 and 2, 4 and 2, 2 and 2. Alright, now so together, they're working together. So let's see, what can I do? Alright, I can take out, let me change my color here, hold on a second. Let's do orange. Not my big favorite color, but we're going to do it anyway. Alright, so I got a group of 3. Is it going to work? There we go. Oops, group of 2. Sorry, we're doing groups of 2, aren't we? Okay, we got a group of 2. That's a very ugly group of 2. Hold on a second. Let's redo that. That's ugly. Alright, I'll take this group of 2. Take this group of 2. Now, see how this guy's got a group that has one more 2? Well, this guy's got a 2 to help out. So they count as a group. Alright, so the only number I didn't circle is the 5. So that poor guy's going to still be stuck on the inside. So let me get this out of the way so I have some room. You can understand that those are 2 circled, but I need the room. So All right, so those are circled. Just think of it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to take my twos, this group of two that's there, so we don't forget about it. So I have one group of two times another group of two times this group of two. Okay, and then that's it. Three groups of two, and then I have the square root, and then the 5 that I didn't do anything with. So 2 times 2 times 2. Be careful, it's not 6. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 8 square root 5, and I'm done. Okay, alright, let's do this with letters. So, remember they're working all together. So 40 is 4 and 10. I'm really going to change colors in a minute because I really can't stand orange. And then 2 and 5. Come on, you can do it. Okay, then M, and then again, if you want to write it out, I got 3 N's. 30 breaks up into 3 and 10, and 5 and 2. And again, if you need to write them out, I got 2 M's and 2 N's. Okay, now let me change colors because I really don't like orange. Okay, so I got a green. What the heck? Why not? Alright, so now what we're going to do is circle groups again of 2. So your most important thing is to pay attention to those index numbers because you got to know how many you're circling at a time. So I'm doing 2. So I'm going to circle that group of 2. 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 I've got this group of 2. And this group of 2, and I got it. Okay, so I tend to like circles. I know my colleague Mr. Murphy likes to do X's. I like to still see my numbers, so that's why I tend to circle. But it's whatever your personal preference is. All right, so then we got to write down again what we have. So we have a group of 2. Come on, right. Then we have another group of 2. And I always read from left to right so I don't miss anything. A group of 5, a group of N's, a group of M's as in Mary. Come on, right. And then another group of N, this guy over here. Alright, so I got everything except for this. So I'm going to put a square root. And I still have an N, so that's still stuck underneath there. I've got a 3. And is that it? That's it. So I should have 2 times 2 times 5. That's 20. And then I have 2 n's, so that would be n squared. I have an m, as in Mary. And then inside I still have a 3n. And I'm done. So that's how you do it. Okay, what do we got left? Alright, a big boy. Alright, so I tried to make it a little bit more complicated, try to come up with some things that you might see in the future, so I'll see if this one works. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start breaking this up. So I'm going to do 45 into, I don't know, well, I'll do something different. 3 and 15. You probably will never come up with that selection, but that's me. And then 3 and 5. Alright, you can see a pair. Oh, but I need 3. So I've got these two. I've got a 5, and then this A. Don't have to do anything with. Okay, it's 15. I'm going to break up into 2 and 9 and 3 and 3. And again, if you need that, you can write all 5 A's. You probably aren't going to be too big on the SOL, so you could probably get away with writing them out if you need to. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to do groups of 3, remember, because my index number says, let's use a different color. I have an index number of 3's, so I'm looking for, and remember that they're working together. So I need groups of 3. So it looks like I only have one group of 3 with numbers. Okay, and then I have a group of 3 with my A's. Oh, I got 2 groups. The other one you have to kind of see is kind of going over with this group over here. Alright, it's a little messy, but I think we'll be alright. Okay, so I'm looking for, see, I look for the circles, so that kind of helps me out. So I got a group of 3. Got a group of A's, 2 groups of A's. And that looks like it's it. Now, don't forget, you have 2 numbers that are still sitting outside that you need, that we're actually waiting for you to bring numbers out. So that 5 and that 3 are kind of waiting outside, waiting for you to pull numbers out to be multiplied by. But and then let me finish up the rest of this. So we're going to do the cube root of, all right, we still have a 3 that we didn't do anything with. We got a 2 that we haven't done anything with. And we got a 5 that we didn't do anything with. So 3 times 5 times 2. All right, so we're cleaning all this up. We're going to get a 45. 3 times 3 is 9 times 5 is 45. A squared. Cube root of looks like 30. And no letters. So that's it. That's how you do it. And you're done. So I'm going to stop here.